And here is Samson's take. I'm asking a very simple question: why I must trust the state or trust the police on the matter of security going into December 7. So there was a security meeting where all the parties attended. And I have asked those who attended that meeting at the IGP's invitation whether they asked the IGP a simple question for an update on the 8 people that were killed in the last election. They don't matter. They are no humans. They come from poor homes. We cannot be bothered. It's time for another election. We go into it as if nothing happened. 8 Ghanaian lives were killed, were lost. They were aimed and shot and killed. So December 7, go vote and leave. Yes, take your security personal. Leave unless you have a job, especially during the coalition. Unless you have an assignment there, do not go to those centers if you have no votes. The 8 people who were shot and killed in 2020 and the several others who were injured included onlookers, minors. Some of those who escaped death were maimed. Rendered disabled and incapable of working for life. In Techiman South, the Attorney General was in court in a civil suit by some of them, insisting that security officers only fired warning shots to disperse a crowd that threw stones at them. Well, the tear gas was not enough crowd control measure for them. So they shot directly into the crowd, even when people turned to flee. Even when people turned to flee, they shot. That's how to fire warning shots. Election Security Task Force of police and soldiers, professionals trained in crowd control, must know when to open lethal fire. How about those killed at centers where there was no crowd trying to break a barricade? You have heard an army commander threatening to beat the hell out of people when invited by police to intervene in a situation, right? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. In Ghana, NDC MPP politics do not only break homes and friendships, they cause professionals, people you have revered, chiefs, pastors, professors, to sound and act like brainless dummies. Fools. Yes, even the devil is shocked at the things that they defend because of politics. Even galamsey, that threatens their very lives. They will justify and rationalize wrongs and outright criminal conduct. An important institution like the FDA, the Food and Drugs Authority, is forced to tell a cock and bull story when exposed for approving for consumption by students food that ought to be destroyed. Check the spirited defense that refuses to admit the bare facts and ignores the danger, the damage done to the FDA in the process. A citizen blows the whistle, bringing police in over 15,000 of the 20,000 or so bags of rice that should not be consumed after December 2023. The rice was being secretly rebagged and rebranded without expiry dates in violation of law. You find out that wrong is being done. You slap a fine on the company involved. The national buffer stock is complicit but not sanctioned. You are now saying you extended the best before date after whatever tests. None of those who supervise this is losing their job, and we are okay with it. Let me tell you this. Journalists alerted this same FDA to a company selling expired food products. They got police to make arrests. That's the FDA. They fined the company and assured the journalists of prosecution. But they kept lying to the journalists that they will prosecute when they did not intend to do so. The wealthy company rushed to court to prevent publication. A judge, motivated by whatever of the facts, issues an injunction against the publication. The FDA suddenly grows cold feet, even in simply supplying information to assist the media house to defend the suits. An RTI request is made, and they still try to conceal the facts in their answer to that RTI request. Anyway, back to the politics that destroys. You see Alote Jacobs, right? And Kokua Idoho. They no longer see anything good about the NDC. The same NDC that was all righteous in their eyes only a few years ago when they benefited from the party in government. Nana Ohininto, Yabuabenga Samwa, they talk about misgovernance and endemic corruption only after they quit the NPP. Of course, you will appreciate Kweku Kwarteng's struggle in telling the truth about the economy being run like a criminal Ponzi scheme. Yes, his own words. He knows too well that those billions in tax waivers in the name of supporting 1D, 1F companies will not build any factories. He has a conscience that tells him the God he prays to will punish people who allow theft of such huge sums of money from a country begging at the IMF, a country whose pensioners have lost their life savings, and officially almost 1 million more of its citizens have been pushed into poverty. Yes, he lost the position that empowered him to block the thievery. But how many of you will go to his rescue if the elephant worked harder to chase him into the bush, like it did to PC Apia Ofori? You remember him? MP Andy Apia Kubi told us about a businessman who brought money, cash, to Parliament to bribe them not to pass a vote of censure on Ken Ofori-Atta. He later refused to cooperate and make disclosures to the OSP for investigations for possible prosecution. He will be voted back into Parliament on December 7 and may even become a minister again in this republic. That's what I'm talking about. You hear the gaslighting about how 4 cedis to $1 is not any better than 17 cedis to $1, right? When a petition was filed at the Shraj, the IGP wrote to tell Shraj that those persons who are responsible, the military and police officers, who are responsible for the 8 killings and the mayhem that was visited on innocent citizens in the 2020 elections, were being prosecuted. That's what the IGP said. You go for a meeting with the IGP about election security for December 7, and nobody asked the IGP one question about how far they have gone with the prosecutions. You are sick. And that's my take.